I just wanted to introduce myself and set in context really how important Getting a Life is to the Valuing Employment Now work, and how much genuine cross-government support and buy-in there is for it, and how excited people are about it. I think you all know about Valuing Employment Now, so I won't read this through, but the gist is there's a very big, very ambitious goal to radically increase the number of people with moderate and severe learning disabilities in real jobs. And we know that from Getting a Life and elsewhere, from a lot of evidence, that what happens in your childhood experience and as you go through transition and school to college to jobs is really, really key. So I just wanted to let you know that really Getting in Life was part of the inspiration for Valuing Employment Now. Very heavily informed the strategy, and we're on a pathway to do some massive culture change here. The aspiration that we've set out in the strategy is going to take a long time, and a lot of people aren't totally convinced we can do it. Actually, when we started on the journey, some of us were a bit panicked about the level of ambition, but we're well in train. And I really think people start to believe this is possible when they see that it's possible. And that's why the demonstration sites, and Getting a Life is our most pioneering demonstration project. When people see it, they start to believe it's possible, and you will become ambassadors for it being possible. We're going to put, as I think you know, much of the learning and the best practice that we've got from you into the resource pack for Valuing Employment Now. We've got a plan to take on the world and spread Getting a Life best practice through the regions, through our regional valuing people networks. I'm really happy that Nicola and Linda and Claire are part of the Valuing Employment Now team, because it really helps us to make the links between our work and make them mutually reinforcing. And the two lead ministers for Valuing Employment Now, Phil Hope and Jonathan Shaw, are both very, very excited about Getting a Life. You've got a more complicated version of this in your packs, I think, but we thought you just might want to know the national governance for this and the ministerial involvement. So in the middle of the circle here, we've got the Valuing Employment Now team, which Getting a Life is part of. And then what we've got that's really helpful to us is we've surrounded ourselves with dedicated link people in other government departments, which means when issues come up from Getting a Life sites and elsewhere, we've got a way to try and sort them out, which is quite helpful. We've then got our Valuing Employment Now steering group, which is cross-government and has people from all the key departments on it, and Job Centre Plus and the Local Government Association. And then we've got our two joint lead ministers, which is quite groundbreaking stuff to have two joint lead ministers. Government things normally only have one. Having two is really forcing some collaborative working that we need. The top priorities for our team, we've been raising awareness of Valuing Employment Now. The demonstration sites are really pretty much the most important thing we're doing because of this need for people to see it, to believe it. We've also got our Valuing Employment Now resource pack launching in March, and much of the Getting a Life information and case studies is going to be in that. And by the way, if any of you have got great case studies you'd like to give us for that, please do. And we're going to be developing some national targets and milestones for Valuing Employment Now. And in the regions are developing regional targets as well. And can I put that slide there? Finally, just before we break for lunch, I just wanted to say it's a real honour for us actually to work with you. You are pioneering real change, you're making it happen. People sitting in government are not making this happen. So thank you from all my heart for all that you're doing. We really appreciate it. I hope I'll get to speak to some of you over lunch, and I hope the rest of the event goes really well. Thank you.